Hello everyone and welcome to Shifting Gears. Welcome in the back seat of the Hyundai Alcazar. Now we have multiple content pieces live on our channel about this Hyundai Alcazar. So now is a good time to subscribe to the Shifting Gears channel and press that bell icon so that you are notified every time we upload a content piece for you so that you can make an informed car buying decision. Now in this video, we are going to speak about the backseat comfort of this Hyundai Alcazar, and we will tell you if at all this is a good chauffeur driven car for your family car requirements. Do check out the other videos which we have uploaded, long format and short format, about this Hyundai Alcazar, so you will get a good recap as well. So now, very quickly, first let us talk about the specifications, a very quick brush up on those numbers. Now the variant that I have with me today, this is the top of the line Hyundai Alcazar. As you can notice, this is the 6-seater variant and it is powered by the 1.5 litre turbo GDI petrol engine. Now this is a 1.5 litre 4-cylinder motor and it produces 160 PS of power at 5500 RPM and 253 Newton meters of peak torque between 1500 to 3500 RPM. This engine comes with an option of 6-speed manual or a 7-speed dual clutch automatic. We have the 7-speed DCT variant with us today. And if at all you want a more fuel efficient option, Hyundai also has the diesel Alcazar, which is also powered by a 1.5 litre engine, 4-cylinder of course, and that one produces 116 PS of power and 250 Newton meters of torque. The diesel engine comes with a 6-speed manual or a 6-speed torque converter automatic. Now the only other important number which you should know is that this Alcazar, this top trim that we have with us today, this is running on 18-inch wheels. So that is something that you will understand why we are highlighting that figure. Now have a look at this. I am 5 feet 8 inches in height. I was seated in the front seat and now I'm in the back seat in the second row, and this seat is adjusted to my height and my comfort. And as you can notice, there is enough space for me to be seated over here, and this is genuinely good enough. Today we are out on the Mumbai-Pune expressway, and when I'm seated over here, this is a very comfortable place to be. First, let us speak about the creature comforts. So with the Hyundai Alcazar, the 6-seater variant, you get ventilated seats even in the second row. So of course the driver and the front passenger, they get seat ventilation, but even the two passengers in the second row, they also have 3 levels of seat ventilation. So that is going to keep you very comfortable, especially on a hot sunny day. In a car with such a large panoramic sunroof, a dual pane glass sunroof, there is going to be quite some heat that is felt inside the cabin, especially when you park your car out in the open. So in those times, having ventilated seats as an option, it is going to offer you instant comfort. We are now entering a tunnel, so this is how the cabin is going to look like in the dark. So this is also giving you a better perspective of how the cabin feels, especially at night. And the button to control that seat ventilation function is over here on the door console. So it is right ahead of the power window switch and it is very easy to reach. I really like it, and I'm glad that it is not somewhere lower down on the seat, which would have been very difficult to access, and even if you access it, you would not have been able to see if it is on level 3, 1, 2, 0, whatever. So this is very ergonomically placed and I highly appreciate it. The second feature, the creature comfort that you get in the second row of this Hyundai Alcazar, is this tray. Now you can park your iPad over here, you can have your snack pack over here, your kids can eat on the go if they are hungry, and this, it says it has 3.5 kgs of load bearing capacity. Now I'm not sure you will be able to keep your laptop over here because it is not that wide, there is not that much of depth over here on this tray. Of course it is wide enough but not enough depth over here. So no laptop capability. Maybe for some quick email you can do that, but not ideal. Anyway, it will fold back in place and it offers you enough room. It doesn't eat into your space too much. One thing about this is a hard piece. So when you're getting in and out, especially if you're a tall guy or a woman, this can hit your knee. So be careful when you have the Alcazar top trim with this tray over here behind both the front seats. So ensure that your knees don't hit. I did hit myself and I did not like it at all. But that is a very fine detail which I don't think anyone is going to share with you. This is very important, especially if you have elderly family members who are going to be seated in the back seat of this Hyundai Alcazar. Now, the other next most important creature comfort is this dual pane panoramic sunroof. Looks quite nice, very dramatic, nice, sky view that you get, and it gives you a good sense of spaciousness inside the cabin. As you can notice, you have dark trim. You have brown and black interior color combination, so not really a light color combo, but the roof liner is in a light shade, and then you have this glass section which allows a lot of light on the inside, so you will never feel claustrophobic. It feels nice, it feels spacious, and it does feel premium. This color combination looks fantastic, and because of the sunroof, even at night you will have a really good time on those drives, and especially during monsoon, it just looks magical. But given the fact that you are not playing outrageous music, but not a bad place to be at all. Then you have a generous glass greenhouse all around you. This glass over here on the door, this is also large enough. It is almost at my shoulder height, so gives me a good view outside. It doesn't make me feel like I am tightly packaged somewhere. There is also a quarter glass over here, so it does feel spacious. Your look outside of the vehicle is good enough. But if it is a hot sunny day, you also have these sunshades which will ensure that the cabin stays cool, and that is also a good feature to have. I think almost every car sold in India should at least have this sunshade, especially at the rear end. It just helps maintain the cabin temperature. After this, you have two AC vents over here on the center, and you can kill them, switch them off if you feel like. There are also AC vents at the back for the third row, so one vent at either ends. So that also helps maintain the cabin temperature behind in this Hyundai Alcazar. There is also a wireless charger bin over here below those AC vents, and you have two Type-C charging points as well. So you are very well covered in terms of all that you need in the modern day and age. Your equipment will not be out of charge. Your cabin is going to be cool and comfortable, and there is just a good feel over here in the second row of this Hyundai Alcazar. Now, all these maybe you might think are just gimmicks. You are here to know if at all this is a comfortable seating position or not. Let me tell you, as is, now that I am seated over here, I am getting fantastic thigh support. I have not even extended this seat bench area, and I still had good thigh support. It moves in and out a little, so it gives you that extra range of motion to get better thigh support if you feel like, and it is really good. Even when it is retracted, you still get good thigh support, and that extension, it doesn't hurt your under thigh area, so it is not protruding too much. It is not causing any kind of discomfort. So in terms of ergonomics, in terms of comfort, it is spot on to do what it is supposed to do. Then have a look at this leg room and knee room area. So good enough knee room that I have, and there is really good foot room as well. I'm wearing really large shoes right now, leather boots, but I can slide my foot below this front passenger seat comfortably. I'm not hitting or hurting my shin area at all. That is how good the space, the packaging is inside in this Hyundai Alcazar, and especially for the second row passenger or the owner who's going to be seated over here, this is really good. But if you think this is not good enough, then you have controls. They say boss mode in some terminology, but what it actually does is that over here on the front passenger seat, you have controls to fully push this seat all the way ahead. Check this out. This is now all the way pushed ahead, so there is really good leg room that is available, very good foot room that is available. This seat, by the way, This is at the extreme front end. I still have good knee room. I can't take this seat any further forward. So check this out. Really good knee room. So if at all you have third row occupants, you can make space for them as well. But if I push the seat all the way behind, now check this out. Brilliant space for your feet. And then if you want to take a nap, this seat, you can recline it, and this is how you can have a really good time, especially on that long drive. So this is very comfortable. When I'm stretching myself this way, I'm extending this adjustment for thigh support. I am at ease and completely at peace, and this is very comfortable. Let me just pull up this sun curtain as well. So the cabin feels luxurious. For a car in this price range, this is possibly a very good chauffeur driven car for sure, because this is offering me all that I need to just unwind just during the drive, so that whenever I step out for work or for anything, I will be fresh and I will not be tired. Let me pull this seat back ahead. Check this out. You also have this retractable handrest, this armrest over here, ideally positioned so both my elbows are not, misaligned. They are almost at the same level. So because of that, also I'm seated in a very natural position. This headrest over here, it is fantastic. All cars should get it. These extensions at either ends, they offer you good comfort. So even if you're taking a nap, your head is not going to be falling off on any side, and because of that, you are not going to have neck pain after waking up from that nap. So this headrest, it is comfortable, but it is genuinely supportive too. So of course it will prevent you from any kind of whiplash injury, but it is going to offer you phenomenal comfort, especially on that long drive. My mother, she was seated over here when we went out for a drive. I wanted her to be seated over here because this is the seat where she sits even in our Hyundai Tucson. And she said this felt more comfortable than the Tucson. The Tucson costs almost twice as much compared to this Hyundai Alcazar that I am in right now. But she said this feels better because, of course, it has seat ventilation. This captain seat offers better modularity in terms of adjusting it to desired style, desired taste, and comfort. And it just feels good. The height was good for her, and the seating comfort was really good for her. So that is quite a compliment from a senior citizen. My mother is almost 60 years of age, and she felt this was ideal. So a good thumbs up from our side for this back seat, this second row, this captain seat setup of the Hyundai Alcazar. You also have this LED cabin lamp over here, which is very easy to access, and the illumination is also not too bright that it is going to hurt your eye. It is good enough if you want to read a book. It is in the ideal spot, so as you can notice, my hands are illuminated. It doesn't trouble the passenger on the other side. The light doesn't, trouble this person because it is not that bright and it is not in that kind of an angle. So all of these small things, they do matter in long term ownership, because once you start living with a car, that is when you understand that, okay, this thing was cool, but it is not really ideal. I don't really need it. But all of this, all things here in the second row of this Hyundai Alcazar, spot on, and I absolutely have no complaints. Now today it was raining in the morning, but now it is sunny. It is a little warm, it is a little humid, but the cabin temperature is really good. We have set the air conditioning, the climate control at 24 degrees, and I have the seat ventilation on right now. A very comfortable cabin. As you can notice, the shade for this sunroof is fully retracted, so there is quite a bit of light that is thrown inside the cabin, but still the cabin stays comfortable. Of course, the vents, the AC vents in the third row, we have kept them active as well, and they are at level 2. But at 24 degrees of automatic climate control and the third row AC vents at level 2, there is not too much of white noise. There is not too much of that air conditioning noise that is heard inside the cabin. And also, because of that, it will not add to your driving fatigue, your driving stress, because there is not too much of aural disturbance. So that is very important. So you've seen the amount of space that you get over here, how you can adjust the seat back and then have it upright if you feel like, if you want to sit up straight. and then there is just brilliant packaging in terms of space for your feet. But now let us speak about the feel when you are being driven around. Right now, the vehicle is being driven between 70 to 80 kilometers per hour. We are on the Mumbai-Pune expressway. It is not too loud inside the cabin. The car is running on 18-inch wheels, really wide contact patch tires, but the NVH is genuinely good. It is not at all something that is disturbing me. It is not something that is going to trouble me. It is not something that is going to wake me up if I'm trying to sleep over here. So, good NVH packaging. All Hyundai cars in any segment that they are launched, they always have good NVH, especially firstly because their engines are really quiet, they are really refined, so there is not too much of engine noise that is heard inside the cabin. And now, even in the second row, there is no wind buffeting that I can hear from this windowsill area over here, and even from the third row or over the wheel arches, there is not too much of wind noise or any kind of resistance that can be heard inside the cabin. So at such highway speeds, this is a very comfortable vehicle. This is a very quiet and peaceful vehicle, so you will really appreciate it. The next point is comfort. First, for comfort, let me say that the seat compound is medium firm. It is not overly soft, and that is very important. This feels more supportive and it feels very comfortable. If the seat was ultra soft, you would dig into it after a long time, and then that would cause some discomfort. This being medium firm, it is very well padded, it is firm at the right spots, and it gives you good support throughout your journey. So you will be very comfortable on these seats. The lateral support is also very good, so there is good bolstering, so you will be kept in place even in this captain seat of this Hyundai Alcazar. So if the driver is driving a bit enthusiastically, you will still not be moving around too much, and also your head, because of this headrest, it is going to be kept in place. Very important, very important on those long drives. The next point is the comfort from the vehicle itself. Now that is where it is a hit or miss. Now the roads in and around Mumbai and Pune, they are absolutely pathetic. Now the brand can't do anything about it because the officials are corrupt. Now it is what it is. The roads are in pathetic shape, but the bank accounts of all these officials, they are in very good shape. So this vehicle with 18-inch wheels, it does struggle over those broken Indian roads. So you will hear some amount of thuds and you will feel those undulations. It is not absolutely thrashy, it is not absolutely rough, but it is just that over bad surfaces, you will feel some kind of movement inside the cabin. There is no denying that fact. If you buy the variant with 17-inch wheels, if you buy the lower variant, maybe you will get a bit better ride quality because the sidewall of those tires would be a bit better, so it will suit the Indian roads maybe better. If you're buying this variant, maybe you can trade off these 18-inch wheels and get 17-inch wheels if you prefer comfort, and then maybe ride quality improves a little. But then it is a matter of what you like. Some people like big wheels, snazzy wheels, and in terms of looks, these alloy wheels, they look brilliant from the outside and they add a nice flair to the overall design. The Hyundai Alcazar, especially in this facelift avatar, it is a handsome looking SUV and it is a good family car to look at. But because of those wheels on the inside, it is slightly compromising on ride quality and just comfort. So that is an honest feedback that I'm giving you. Even on these undulated patches on the Mumbai-Pune expressway, because of these wheels, you do feel those, joints which are not evenly stacked. So you will have to live with it. There is nothing you can do about it. You can hear some of those thuds inside the cabin too, but then it is what it is. Overall, otherwise the NVH is great. It is just that when the tire hits those bumps, that is when you will hear it. Otherwise, this is quite a nice place. Now, when you are being driven around, this Hyundai Alcazar, it is a smart car. It comes with level 2 ADAS features. When I am seated over here, any of those ADAS warnings which pop up on the speedometer cluster, I have a very good and very clear view. I'm wearing polarized sunglasses right now. The driver is way ahead. Of course, this is a big car, but that screen is very clearly visible. There is no distortion, and because of that, any error or any warning that pops up, I can very clearly see and make note of it. So if I am alert and if I want to ensure that I am being driven around safely, I can ask the driver to make certain changes. So that also is a very important feature, especially if you have a new driver who's driving you around. So you can have some sense of control over how you are being driven around. A very important thing, a very small thing which is ignored by users, buyers, manufacturers, and even drivers. But here in the Hyundai Alcazar, you feel like you are safe. Of course, you have a plethora of safety features, multiple airbags, so you get all the basic active and passive safety features and more because of level 2 ADAS. But a nice place to be, a very comfortable place to be. If I want to sit cross-legged, check this out, there is enough space to do that as well. That is how good this vehicle is. If at all you want to use this for your office commutes, if you are going to be driven around, this has everything that you need. Now I commute around in a Hyundai Tucson every day, 100 kilometers every single day. Say for example, if I have to live with the Hyundai Alcazar, I will have no complaints because here I have captain seats, I have better comfort, I have more modularity in terms of adjusting the seat to my style and my height and my body type. I have rear seat ventilation which the Hyundai Tucson lacks. I mean, what is to complain? I mean, this feels really, really good and this feels really nice. Even the Hyundai Tucson on those large wheels, it feels almost the same in terms of ride quality. So if you are wondering, should you buy the Alcazar or should you spend a bit more and buy the Tucson? I mean, comfort is going to be very, very similar. It is going to be a bit better if you're buying the 6-seater variant of the Alcazar because of this modular seating position and capability. But then of course the Hyundai Tucson is a segment above, it is a class above, and it just is an exclusive car and you see very few of them out on the streets, so you do feel special. But then over here it is just as good. I mean, I don't see any reason why this car is any less to any other premium product which is available on sale, especially if you have chauffeur driven car requirements. In terms of mileage, this vehicle delivers close to 11 to 12 kmpl inside the city and highway combined. So if you are living somewhere in the suburbs, then you're driving to South Mumbai every day for work and going up and down through city traffic and also out on those highways, 11 to 12 kmpl is what you can expect. It is not going to be higher than that, especially because of this ethanol fiasco. I mean, everything is uncertain, but that is the real world mileage figure which I'm sharing with you right now. So expect that and be ready to spend accordingly. Speaking about the brakes, if the driver is going to stomp onto the brakes, they are nice and progressive. It doesn't dive too much. So if you want to see that again, check this out. When the vehicle is applying brakes, it doesn't throw you off completely. It will happen especially when the ADAS kicks in and when the vehicle wants to come to a complete standstill. But then if you're wearing a seatbelt, you have nothing to worry. Overall, the brakes are also good in terms of slowing down the vehicle without unsettling the occupants in the vehicle. So that also is a thing that is very well calibrated for the comfort of all occupants in this Hyundai Alcazar. If I had to buy this car and if I had to be driven around, I would be very happy. When I'm seated, ideally looking dead straight, it's a good view outside. I mean, I can see the entire road quite nicely. If I want, I can remove this headrest and then I can have a very good clear view of the bonnet section also if I'm sitting more upright. But nevertheless, a good place, a good space, and a good sense of occasion because of all of these features. So let us know, what are your thoughts about this Hyundai Alcazar? Do you think this is going to be a good family car for you? Do you think this is going to be a good business car for you if you want to be driven around and if you want to take your clients around in this Hyundai Alcazar? It is spacious, it is premium enough, and it does look good. It doesn't look like a cheap car at all. Everything is very well put together. I just wish that there were a bit more soft touch materials at the touch sensitive areas inside the cabin, because at this price maybe all of those features can be added. It just adds a nice touch. But visually, especially the seats in this brown and black combination, absolutely beautiful and very, very supportive. If you have any other questions about this Hyundai Alcazar, ask me and I will try my best to help you out. Till next time, subscribe to the Shifting Gears channel, press that bell icon, and always, guys, be safe and always wear your seatbelts, even in the back seat.